everyone, welcome to another podcast. Today we'll be talking about how we can optimize contract processes for CPG and distribution. We'll be learning about the importance of optimizing contracting. And today we have with us Nachiket Bhagdikar. Nachiket, could you tell our audience a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, certainly. Thanks for having me here, Antariksh. I come with like 10 years of experience in this domain. I have worked across different organizations such as service providers like Wipro. I worked for a big four called EY. And then I've also worked for technology providers such as Coupa and Zycus. So I come with a mixed bag of experience when it comes to this domain, the CPG and retail, as well as understanding of how the source to pay process works within this particular industry here.
I want to touch upon a little bit on the business landscape, the kind of business landscape that CPG and distribution companies have. Can you provide an overview of a typical business environment within CPG and distribution, and what are the key contract types that they handle, or how do these contract types shape and maintain business relationships with several stakeholders?
Yeah. So at the CPG and distribution front, the landscape is evolving. And we see a lot of global organizations run a multi-tiered distribution channel where they'll have like manufacturers, distributors, retailers, and in the end, logistics providers to provide with these services and goods to the end customer. And with these, the contract types are also consistent with the kind of setup that they run. So for manufacturers, they do have co-manufacturing agreements with certain manufacturers. On the procurement front, they'll have distribution agreements for the distributors, purchase agreements if they are that kind of an organization that would purchase these goods or services upfront. They'll have purchase agreements there. And finally, promotional agreements for your retailers to increase your revenues, to look towards a sales promotional campaign there. So these are the different kinds of agreements that we see across the CPG industry. And to answer your question on how these contracts help shape the businesses, well, the contracts become the Bible for all these business transactions, right? So compliance with regulations is one of the key areas that these contracts would have coverage on. The other coverage that they typically cover is on the pricing front, on the financials, the pricing structures. When it comes to the suppliers, the service level agreements, when you're dealing with your distributors and your retailers, the service level agreements, and also the obligations that you have to take care of. So all of these combined help you build the contracts that are not only well-rounded, but also structured in a way that help you run the business seamlessly as you would want.
Diving a little bit into the specific challenges this industry faces, but I want to talk more department-wise. So for example, I want to understand some challenges across key personas like maybe legal, procurement, or finance. What are some unique challenges that they face when managing contracts within the industry, and how do these challenges impact operational efficiency, and they can also impact the strategic decision making? So could you throw some light on that?
Yeah, I'll try to cover it in a brief. So basically, let's start with legal. So legal teams are typically overburdened with limited resources. So they have like a lot of requests coming in from different directions. Sometimes it can be asking for such as basic contract information. When is my contract expiring with this vendor, etc. So this is a request that comes to legal. Also, whenever procurement teams are trying to build a new relation with the supplier, there too they'll reach out to legal asking for different types of templates for NDAs, for your MSAs, your SOWs with the supplier. So typically what we see on the legal front is that they have smaller teams which are centralized, but these are often overburdened with work. And also like another challenges on this front can be managing the clause variations across different jurisdictions. So today we are in a global environment and a lot of organizations are operating globally. So there are different jurisdictions and different obligations that you need to understand or undertake when it comes to your contracting cycle. Also ensure like you're compliant on the geographical front and also with the local regulations. So that is one of the challenges that we often see. On the procurement front, there is always like discovery of these risks and obligations when they are, let's say, negotiating on a third-party contract paper, and finding out like which is the riskier clause for me, or which is a riskier proposition for me in this particular agreement. So that is one thing that procurement teams are wary of. And also that there are material costs that are always increasing. So there are labor shortages, there are inflationary pressures that are there. So these are like some of the typical procurement challenges.
Yeah.
And you did mention finance there.
Finance is good, yeah.
I'll also shed some light on that.
Yeah.
So for finance team, what they typically face as biggest challenges when they do not have a streamlined contracting structure in place, they'll typically have like the financial terms that are not that well negotiated, which can lead to like cash flow issues, sometimes financial losses as well, when there are unanticipated circumstances such as a force majeure, and they have not already set that in their contract. So that can lead to some of the issues there. Not setting up price indexes. So that is another example of a financial burden that comes on the top of a CFO when it comes to a poorly negotiated contract there.
Makes sense. Thank you so much. So yeah, what I understand is, so it's not just these, for our audience, it's not just these three personas, it's a lot more. It's your relationship with every stakeholder, every department that gets influenced. But yeah, we did want to talk about a few of these challenges within each department. One more question that I would like to ask you, Nachiket, is that so we, CloudMoyo, as a contract lifecycle management expert, I wanted to understand what should an ideal approach look like for addressing the challenges that you mentioned, and how does CloudMoyo deliver value as a trusted partner, helping companies within CPG and distribution optimize their contract management and drive business outcomes in return.
Got it. So we at CloudMoyo, like our mission here is to empower our customers.
Yep.
So as I said, it's a rapidly evolving landscape in the CPG industry. And what we do is that we help transform your procurement and sales functions, streamline their CLM processes. That's one. When it comes to your existing or historical contracts, we help you migrate those legacy contracts in a structured manner, which not only help you get these documents into your existing or the new CLM system, but also ensure that you capture the right attributes and the metadata that's associated with these contracts. Also, on the process front, CloudMoyo would help you support on the time and effort that's needed when creating a new contract, right? So all those are also efficiently managed and tracked through our business process mapping system. We help you build the process from ground zero to your North Star, or the zenith that you're trying to achieve there. And how do we do this? I'll give you a couple of examples. So one of them is like our AI powered suite of solutions that we have. I mentioned legacy migration there. So one of such examples is the IntelliDoc Analyze solution. So what this does is that it simplifies the migration of these large contract volumes by providing capabilities such as like information sorting. So that's one. Then you have data extraction from these documents. Then there is also capabilities on document query. And in the end, you get an executive summary generated out of the contract documents. So executive summary acts as a great view into a long contract, but as well as gives you the right insights into the different terms of the contracts that you need to be aware of. Right. Another example I did mention one of the challenges for legal is like them being overburdened with limited resources while the contract requests are aplenty. So we do have like a specialized solution for this. It's called the Contract Link app. What this does is that it helps you streamline the intake process, and it helps enable your end users put in their request, ask for legal support wherever it's needed through a centralized interface. So this way, what we do is that we help the CPG and distribution industry effectively manage contracts. And this is not just a necessity today. It's like a strategic advantage in a way, right? And you would agree that by partnering with companies like CloudMoyo, companies would not only overcome their operational challenges, but also unlock these new opportunities for growth And that is an important take here that I would like to follow.
Thank you so much, Nachiket, for that insight. So CloudMoyo is the first solutions integration partner of iCertis. We do have a lot of expertise across all industries, including CPG and distribution. So please do reach out to us at marketing@cloudmoyo.com, or also you can log into our website, www.cloudmoyo.com. Nachiket, thank you so much for joining us today. And we will see you in the next podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Antarish.
Thank you.